Hello and welcome to another commentary track. This is the BRM200, Audax Malaysia's 4th anniversary ride event to commemorate 4 years of organising and running Audax events. So the ride starts in front of DC Cycles in Serembantu town. The route itself is a mostly pleasant ride through rural or countryside roads. Pretty nice weather too for a change. The first 90-ish kilometers are considered light rolling, or maybe some may call it false flats. And then after that, we get what I like to call a mini Paris-Brest Paris simulation. It's constantly rolling, very few flat sections, though just not as much elevation as the actual PBP route. Electronic registration here makes things run very smoothly. All you need is the QR code that you get from signing up during the registration, and they have all your details all ready to go. We've got a tandem here, which is kind of a rare sight in Malaysia. Fat bike, also not a very common sight. Team NATO showing a strong presence here as well. And off we go! Officially, we've got over 200 riders this time around. Not so large compared to the pink rides, but at the same time, still a lot compared to 300Ks and longer. The first part of the ride is very nice. Cool morning temperatures, very light traffic. Most of the road is well lit. I'm wearing the new SR18 jersey for the first time here. Passing through the town of Lukut, everything looks a lot different in the wee hours of the morning with so little traffic and with all the shops closed. During the day, things get a lot busier. I didn't catch the name of this hotel or resort though. I only noticed it due to the lights. If we had passed this during the day, I probably would not have noticed it at all. My pacing strategy for this ride is to take it slow and easy, which is why everyone's passing me right now. It's not an easy strategy though, as it requires minimal stops with strict time management. So basically, it's maximizing on-bike time and riding at a sustainable pace, where I only need to stop around every 50 kilometers or so. So it's very short rest and continue type of stops at 50k, then longer stops for food and rest at the next 50k, and alternating between the two. It sounds easy, but the further you ride, the harder it gets to sustain these long on the bike sessions. So proper sustainable pacing is important. Morning, still nice and overcast weather. In fact, most of the ride has been pretty cool and overcast, except for a couple of times where it got hot. But on average, it was more overcast than sunny today, so that's very nice. And again, very low traffic, at least until we enter the major towns along the route. Masjid Tanah in Melaka is the first stop. The checkpoint is a mini market, and then after that it's a hunt for food. I found a nearby KFC for breakfast, where they serve chicken rice as part of the breakfast set, so it's good for loading up on calories for the remaining 110 plus kilometers. Now here's an interesting story to tell. It's hard to tell what's actually going on in the video, mainly because an ultra-wide angle action camera is not really the best to kind of show the same perspective or view as we see with our own eyes. But basically those, I don't know, oxen or buffaloes were staring at us intently as we were passing, and then they suddenly started running towards the gap in the fence behind us. At first I thought they were just waiting for a chance to cross the road or something, but then they started heading uphill in our direction. Anyway, I didn't bother to wait and find out what they were doing, so I just hit it until the top of the climb. Then I guess either they weren't actually interested in us, or maybe they were actually chasing but gave up shortly. I don't know, but that's probably the most memorable part of this ride. So this isn't the actual A Formosa historical site, which is actually in Melaka town itself. This is I think this is a resort, and I think there's also a theme park somewhere. Secret checkpoint is probably not the right word for this, but its location isn't actually fixed on the map or the cue sheet. So while it's not a surprise, but it's still kind of a secret, I guess. Tampin Town. By now it's somewhere close to noon if I'm not mistaken. Still, weather's been pretty nice. My original target for this ride was to complete somewhere between 1 to 3 PM. Though at this point, realistically, we are looking something closer to 2 to 3. 1 PM was really a lot of wishful thinking anyway, since that's about 4 hours per 100 kilometers, and that needs some pretty good speeds to achieve. 5 hours per 100 kilometers is a more reasonable pace, and it's a pretty good target to aim for these kind of long distance Audax rides. Not too slow, not too fast, and reasonably sustainable for multi-day rides. So even like at an average pace of like 25 kilometers an hour, that gives you 4 hours of riding and 1 hour of rest every 100k. So on flatter routes, you tend to go faster, and therefore you actually get more rest time, and then you can either use it up or even better save it for the sleep at night. So near the end of the ride, almost 2:30 PM, I'm making a half effort kind of sprint here. It's not really an all-out sprint since I'm like barely over 40 kilometers an hour, but it's just enough so that I finish under 2:30 PM. That's a total ride time of under 9 hours and 30 minutes. It's pretty decent for this kind of rolling terrain on what's practically a solo effort. And I just say practically because I wasn't actually riding solo, but it was kind of a solo pace with minimal drafting to help me save energy. Anyway, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed this video. Like and subscribe to help support the channel, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!